Welcome to the Resiliency Room.
Hello.
Oh, hello. I had a t I had to write my March blog. So I already put a topic for this last episode um
Hmm.
in,
No, you're ready for a longer day, so let's talk about that.
um I don't know. Am I ready for longer days? I don't know if I'm ready or they're just kind of like they're gonna be here soon.
Well, what do you mean by longer days?
Longer days like once the time changes in the spring, then the
Hmm.
sun takes longer to go down, it seems. So it gets lighter later. I mean, what am I
Oh,
talking
I know
about?
what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It stays longer. Whatever. It stays lighter longer. That's it.
Yeah. One thing I like about we're going forward, right? It's an hour forward.
Yeah.
One thing I really like is that you get to spend more times outdoors,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
My grandson he's almost 6 months. One thing that I'm really looking forward to this summer is like him being able to kind of play outside a little bit, because at this point he's not like he can't he doesn't crawl or anything yet. So he's not running around outside, and even if he wanted to, well, today I'm sweating, but it's generally been too cold. But that is one thing that I'm really looking forward to about the spring and summer is being back at the park with the kids, getting out. And it just my daughter made a comment the other day and she was like, it's nice and sunny outside and I just feel healthier.
No more seasonal depression, no more winter
Yeah.
blues.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny because I love the holiday season. It's my favorite part of the year. Starting at Halloween and going all the way to Easter. I love it. I love all of it. But I love it when Halloween comes kind of creeping up. I'm like, oh yeah, it's my favorite time of year. But it really is for a lot of people, and I've had people point this out to me. The seasonal depression it really is a thing. And it's a feeling, it is like it's darker, quicker, it's just not fun and sunny outside. It really is a thing. And I feel like I felt it for the first time this year. And I was like, damn, it really is a
I
thing.
ordered long johns and I haven't worn long kid, so that's how you know we're being impacted as we get older. And I miss patio dates. I miss
Oh
patio
yeah.
lunches. I
Yeah.
look at it as you love being around your family, but when it's dark and you look over and you're like, I've been with you for like half of the day. I want to go outside and get some sun. Season I know depression gets thrown around, that word gets thrown out a lot, so that's why I try to use like seasonal sadness, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like when it's cold outside, when it's dark outside, when it's damp outside, when you what do the young girls call it? When you can't have your summer dress season,
You're a hot girl summer.
your hot girl summer, your hot boy summer, I totally get it. One of my friends actually, she shared that all of her, she says, someone I used to work with actually, she shared that February, like right after Valentine's Day, that's where a lot of people they get ready to go out more because we're
Mm.
coming out of winter, this part of the world, right?
Yeah.
She also noticed that as people get more excited and out of that sadness, their relationships take a turn, right? She said that out of her peer group, five of the people already broken up. I'm like, Valentine's Day is not that long ago,
No, not at all. Goodness.
right? So, yeah, so I think there's like a switch because when it's cold, one of the warmest things you can have is a warm body,
Ah,
right,
that's
next to you.
true.
Right?
Hmm.
And when it gets warm now, you're like, okay, I realize what I don't like about you because I was confined to being around you. Now it's, let me go get my summer dress and my short shorts and my whatever I don't know what girls wear these days. I look at the ceiling when
I'm
I go
just
out. I like, the sky's my savior at this point. So whatever it is you girls wear.
I was just waiting to see where all this was gonna go, you know.
Well, yeah, because you remind me of the longer days, and she was sharing that like the relationships from her perspective, they're all like healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I guess we confuse that because just because we're home with you doesn't mean we want to be
Mm.
home with you, right? It's like COVID, same thing, right? When you're locked in, you're like, ugh, right? Just like, ugh,
Yeah,
right? But yeah,
yeah,
I think sometimes it's hard. Like if I look at like my situation, I enjoyed being home all those hours,
yeah.
but I I want to need some outside.
You're like, I'm
Should I
ready to
close the
leave a
door?
little.
Actually, I need some outside. Maybe I should close the door and lock it as I have this conversation. I want some outside. I need some outside.
No, it's so true though. Like, and even in a marriage because or cohabitation because one of the things that happened during the colder months this year, my husband got let go of his job 13 years due to budget cuts. And so we were just kind of instantly, now we're just home together all the time. And at first it was great. We're like doing all these things together. And after a while, it's kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to go. Even started out, we were sharing an office and we barely use that office now. Partially because I have the studio to use, but it's like, oh yeah, we can do everything together, be together, we can go to the grocery store together, we can do all these things together. And it's March, so it's been like 2 months, and now like, all right, well, I'm gonna go spend some time in the office. I'm gonna go to the studio. Oh, I'm just gonna stop at the grocery store. Like, we don't have to make it a big thing. Of course, then I also enjoy still kind of having that separation. And then at the end of the night, we come together, watch a movie or, whatever. And then like, that's great. But I do, even in a marriage, like I can't just break up with him. But yeah, sometimes I want to be outside a little bit.
I can't miss you if you want to ever leave.
Right, right,
Right?
right.
Right? It doesn't mean like we don't like we love them and we will
Yeah.
always love them, right? But you begin to realize how important that gap, that 2, 3 hours was, right? Because once you don't have anymore, and I wonder sometimes like older couples, let's say like retirees, maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
why they always plan events because at least when they're
Mm,
together, there's still other people where you have that dynamic, right? So I don't
that's
know.
true.
Maybe 50 years from now, we can see how we are when we're old, gray, and toothless.
Right. Speak for yourself, buddy. That is one of my
I'm gonna
biggest fears.
denture it up. Don't worry. I already have them on pre-order.
I'm telling you, that's one of my biggest fears, like to get old and lose my teeth. That and toasters, they're like up here together. I mean,
Yeah, I like to smile and I like to laugh, and you seem to be the same way, right?
yeah.
Like for me to
Mhm.
laugh and you see nothing but the back of my throat. I don't know.
No
I don't know.
shade
I
to
wasn't one of
anyone who,
those.
who's
I'm throwing
going. No,
shades. You guys are toothless and happy. Be happy. Right?
maybe that should be the
It's
title, Toothless and Happy.
toothless and happy. Toothless and happy. You know.
Oh
It's
gosh.
interesting that there's so many people that, to your point, it is something that I wonder if it's a deal breaker. I
Hmm.
wonder if I was on the dating scene again and I met a girl and she was toothless. Hmm.
Okay,
I
I
wonder.
have my
That's like something no
answer.
one talks about. Your
You
answer is a no
know,
because you're already laughing.
I have my answer, and okay, it's a complex thing because there are just certain deal breakers, and there's certain things that you want when you look at your partner, right?
Mhm.
I have a family who's had a lot of dental issues. I had my grandma died at 97 with her all her original teeth. Okay. But then I have other family members who one had a partial at like late 20s, mid to late 20s. So there's, there we have both in our family, and I'm just like, there's also dental insurance is insane, right? And like most public health insurances don't cover dental. So I don't know. It's like it is kind of this complex thing because I don't want to judge anybody for something they may or may not can't help, but I also know that our dental hygiene is highly correlated with our heart health. And so I know how to important it is to take care of my teeth, and I haven't always. So, like I could be on both sides. I went through a period where I didn't know the correlation, so I didn't pay much attention. And I could have a lot of dental issues, but I work very hard not to. So it's like, I don't know. It's this combination between education and healthcare access. But the best way to take care of your mouth if you can't get regular cleanings is flossing, brushing, paying attention to your gums and things like that. So I don't know. I know that's a very complex answer. I don't want to judge anybody, but I think it would be a deal breaker. Yeah, sorry.
She's not dating you guys if you're toothless. That's the short version of her.
Sorry.
No, but you're right. In all seriousness, it's tough, right? Because when it comes to health, sometimes you just don't know the
Yeah,
impacts.
yeah.
But I think, like we've talked about this, you and I are close in age, similar in age, right? Like commercials about hygiene was everywhere growing up,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So sometimes I wonder, is it because we don't see the consequences immediately? And
Mm,
then it could be that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Like there's always going to be deal breakers, and I think that as long as the person's respectful,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
broken, you're toothless, I hate you, then like right, then that's bad, right? It's just like, you know what?
Right, right, right.
I don't think this is going anywhere. I appreciate the coffee and you can giggle all the way back to your car. Right? I don't know, but I just think because like we started, right? It's a longer day, so that means more dates. The single people are going to be out there in full force. Full force. I saw one girl, I was driving by and this may be like 2 weeks ago. It was like right after Valentine's Day. And I saw cars that were driving quickly, they were slowing down. So it caught my attention. I'm like, why are they slowing down? And then as one car passed and there's a gap and I could see who's walking on the road, I was like, okay, that's why. Right? She already had her summer shorts with the winter boots. And I'm like,
What?
your mind is telling you yes, but your body's telling you no. Right? You want to be able. You're almost there. Just wait 4 more weeks. You're.
Oh
I
my
get it.
gosh. Yeah.
I get it.
My son went to school. He wore shorts Thursday and Friday. Thursday, I was kind of like, you might want to think about this. Just take a jacket. Don't be an idiot. Take a jacket.
Mhm.
Friday, I look at him. I said, go. You know what? Never mind. Never mind. If you're cold, that's on you. I'm gonna get in my car. I'm gonna take you to school but then I was like, it's so fucking hot. There's no way he would have needed that jacket. But we are in that time of year. Like you don't know because it's hot as hell right now. But next week it's probably gonna rain or snow or something crazy. Like we don't know. So like, it's like your
Yeah.
sex life. Just take protection anyway.
I know. Just in case
Just
public
in
service
case.
announcement. Always use protection, guys. Please. Please.
I mean, I should have said dating life. Sorry. Always use it in your sex life. If you're dating, just have it. Just be, take your jacket and take your other jacket. Like just be precautious. You never know what the weather might be going on either place. So, you know.
See, I that's what I thought that you were talking about weather meaning something else. I was like, when she said dual, you're no. And gentlemen, that condom that's been in your wallet since you bought the wallet, please throw that out. I
Please
hate
use
that.
updated protection. I don't know. I haven't gone on a date in over 10 years, so and I don't oh gosh. I don't want to think about that. If I had to date again, I don't know.
I'm gonna send you an interview with a girl. They were talking about um she says she hates using condoms. She
I
says a
hear
turn off.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Another person called it lame. She's like, if you use condoms, you're lame.
Oh,
I was like, wow, I'm the lamest dude in the. Well, not now, obviously. Let me
I
close this
mean,
door.
you
Well, not now,
he's
obviously.
like, damn, I really should
Right, but
close this door.
yeah, yeah. Go to sleep, honey. Go to sleep. But but I did you ever think that we reach a point where people would publicly say that? It's one thing to say it
Yeah.
like amongst your friends, but to like actually get on film, a microphone in your face, and say that it gives me the ick to use condoms. You're lame.
I should be surprised about this, but I'm not. And that concerns me because why? Like, oh, why to so many things that we,
Yeah.
why to so many things? Is that age or is that just like, I mean, because even when I was like in my promiscuous days, I still used protection. Like, I got pregnant with one of my kids using a condom. And so that's probably not the best condom commercial quote. Maybe buy a better brand. I don't know. But even in those days, like, no, I don't like, there's diseases and then there's like warts and bumps, and I don't want any of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You looking
Mm-mm.
down at your own area and be like, ugh,
Right,
how's anyone gonna love it, right? If
right,
like if you don't love it, how anyone else is gonna love it? Um,
right.
I just think that I think sometimes, and you mentioned education when it comes to some other things. I think sometimes people think protection is only for not getting pregnant.
Yes, very
Right.
much so.
I think that's the problem. I think people don't realize there's other things. And yeah, we've come so far where last time I checked, I think there's only two STIs that aren't curable, but they're treatable. It's
Right.
herpes and HIV.
Yes.
Everything else is a pill here, a pill there, 6 weeks later and you're gone. I know people that have HIV. I know people that have herpes. Like I don't treat them any differently. Um,
Right.
Everyone that I know that had it, the way they caught it was because they were just freaking it up, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. But in some scenarios, it was actually there was a break in the marriage and they got it,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
like there's a gap in your marriage because you guys are going through whatever it is you're going through, and then you're dating other people, fine, but you do so unprotected,
Yeah.
right? That's the
Well,
part I'm missing.
so you said one thing, like there's pretty much a pill for everything. And not that I think it's a bad thing to have medication, but it's almost kind of like it's not as serious because I can get rid of it. I feel like it, or the prep, like you can take medications for prep. While I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that I feel like a lot of times it's not taken as seriously. Oh, well, I can get rid of it, and prevention it's easier than people think it is, and I don't know. I don't know if I'm old. I've been out of the game for a while, but I'm like a lot of it, I really just think it's just not taken seriously because it can be written off, you know.
I think so as well. I've seen interviews of people who are maybe a couple years younger than us.
Mm,
The way they talk about it is totally different. Like growing up, an STI was like the monster of all monster diseases,
yeah,
right? Like you
yeah,
got that, it was like the shame, the guilt. Not saying that you need to feel that way now. It was just told to us, make sure you don't get this. Prepare, prepare, prepare.
yeah,
Now it just seems, at least the ones who are talking about it and going viral or getting a lot of attention, it's like the other way. It's like it doesn't really matter because it just doesn't really matter. And I wish people and this goes back to the dental, the physical health, the sexual health. I just wish people took it more seriously
Yeah,
because the ones you feel bad for are the ones in the relationships who are having unprotected sex, like many of us are, and they get it because their partner was out and about, right? Or
absolutely.
the person who
Yeah.
just lies about something. So that's different too, right?
Or the situation where you go into a committed relationship, and from the research that I've done over the years, and you can correct me if this has changed, but certain things take longer to like for men to recognize in themselves. So I guess like the symptoms take longer to appear in men than they do in women. And I was in a situation before where I entered into a relationship. I'm not going to say what type of relationship because that would give it away. Not my current one, but and I um got pregnant and tested positive for chlamydia, I think it was. And mind you, I'm in a very committed relationship. Let's just put it that way. And I like floored because in this type of relationship, that shouldn't happen to me because I know for a fact that I have not been with anyone else. Now, this person hadn't recently been with anyone else, but they had it and they didn't know and they passed it on. And so that, luckily it was curable, but that is a common thing I feel like too. And so that's when also regular testing comes into play because it's one thing that I teach my children. Once you become sexually active, you need to get regularly tested, even if you're in a committed relationship, because you're in a committed relationship and maybe they are too. But things also sometimes don't present themselves until time has passed. And my kids, they have no problem with that. And it's just another thing that I'm grateful for because no one had these conversations with me when I was a teenager or a young adult. And there's a lot of things that could have been prevented by conversation and education, but it's regular testing is another thing because people don't always pass on these things intentionally. Sometimes they might not know they have it. If they don't get regularly tested and the symptoms take a while to present, they don't know.
I agree. And getting the tests tested for it or even having an STI, there's nothing wrong with the
Absolutely
person that
not.
has it, right? You're
Yeah.
not dirty, you're not unclean, you're not whatever.
Yeah.
The way I like to tell people is that look at it as you got anything else. You got the flu, you got pneumonia, and you have to cure it,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Or
Yeah.
you have to treat it. If you take your time, the only time where it's really an issue is like any other disease, really, if someone gives it to you, right? Like if someone gave me the
Right.
flu, I'd be upset. If
Right.
someone gave me
Right.
chlamydia, I'd be upset, right? I'm
Right.
going to be upset either way, right? And it's your responsibility to take care of it. Now, if I got it, the flu usually get it because if you have children, they go to daycare, they bring it home.
I'm
Or if you
dealing
don't
with a
wash your hands,
virus right
things like
now.
that.
Yes.
Exactly, right? Where the STIs, because some people, I guess, are a little bit more offended or a lot more offended, is because usually when you get it, is because you're vulnerable in your intimacy and you're intimate with that person. So there's a level of trust which has been
Yeah.
broken. So
Yeah.
I can understand why people get mad. They're like, oh my God, you're the Jezebel of the world, right? Or you're streetwalker, whatever the case is. But that's not necessarily the case. And what I would recommend for people who maybe they don't do this already, for me, because I know healthcare is a little bit different in Canada than the States,
Yeah.
is every birthday, get everything checked from your
That's a
toes to your head, right? Get everything checked.